today. How you doing at this point in your life?
Oh man, I'm doing great. I'm excited to be outside, right now. It's been 3 decades since I've been top 15 on the charts. Yeah, music has changed so much, and I'm just out here navigating in these waters.
Make that happen. That's what's up. So I see that like I said, you recently returned to the Billboard R&B charts. What did that moment represent for you creatively?
Oh, creatively, shoot. I wanted to be authentic and it represented a time of retro. The sound I was coming with was live instrumentation, not a track. Don't send me a beat. It was create a whole, create music. And that's
Yeah,
what that represents. And I feel like we succeeded. Shout out to my producer and the other songwriter of a partner of mine, Derek DOA Allen, and that's what we wanted to do.
okay. So I mean, you gonna want me back. Brand new single, slamming. It
Thank you.
feels confident and intentional. What space was you in when you created that?
Wow. I was in a grown woman BI. What is what I say? I may have lost, but this season is all about me. I'm feeling confident that I gave my all in this relationship and no guilt. Women, we really take on so much. You guys, men would be surprised. Like, if the kids, the dreams,
Right.
trying to be out here just being everything to everybody. That's really what it means to me is just redefining who I am in this generation.
That is beautifully spoken. Now, what do you focus on now when you make a record that you might have not focused on earlier in your career?
Woo! One thing I've learned, I tell my manager this, if the music has got to move me, like it's got to have, I have to understand, it has to be some type of vibe. I have to be able to hear the music and the energy of it. It should call out to me whether this is a melancholy song like Sade, whether this is a bumper, whether this is a make me feel good Earth, Wind and Fire, Raphael Sadiq, Chic. It has to definitely move me in some kind of way. Not necessarily to the dance floor all the time, but in a definite direction.
That kind of sets up my next question because I know you are proficient with the songwriting skills. And
Mm-hmm.
as far as songwriting goes, when you approach a song, what comes first for you, the melody, concept, or the feeling?
Wow. I'm going to say lately it's been the melody. The melody. That's really important. That's my strength. That kind of comes naturally,
Mhm.
cleaning the house, taking a shower. And then the concept being that I am a student of some of the most prolific songwriters,
Right.
Jam and Lewis and
Yeah.
Babyface and L.A. Reid,
Right.
to name a few. I've really learned, that story has got to be there. So I definitely come up with the melody, and then it's about the story, and then being true to who you are. Just because it has to be the right thing lyrically. I think that's what's different in this generation is that I was listening to someone talk about how we're so happy on TikTok with a young girl. We've got folded. She's telling a story. You could put it on at any part of the song. And I was like, honey, that was nothing but the 80s and 90s. We gave, that's where that came from. Superwoman is a whole story and then some. But
Yeah.
I understand what she means. So I definitely come from that generation. I'm a big, Dionne Warwick. I love the lyric content that she displayed so beautifully as one of as far as the prolific writers of that time too. And what was it, Gamble and Huff. So
Mhm.
yeah, just that's where I come from as far as building a song. And then it's the music part has got to be, like I said, everybody right now is trying to send me Suno music, which is, I guess, is cool. But I it's interesting what's happening right now. I'm like, we have this tool, but now everybody thinks they're a writer, you
Yeah,
know?
and
So
that
you really have to be like, it sounds good because the Suno vocalists are killing it. For
right,
you guys that don't know what I'm talking about, it's an app for songwriters or people that want to write music. And so
right.
these girls have like, they have the best voices, so they can trick you because they sound incredible. But then when you listen to it, you're like, what was the hook?
Yeah.
Nothing grabbed me. You know what I mean?
And that's
So
funny because I was going to ask you how you felt about the Suno movement, being that you are into the songwriting field, because it does give people who are what we would consider talentless
right.
some type of capability to, present something.
Right. And I'm not even going to say talentless because it's a tool. And I believe that, see, like my manager, he's so dope. And I don't know if I should give away his formula. He may be mad at me. But he put in Suno, he put in Boss Skaggs and what was it? Brothers Johnson, and it was like dun, 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 dun. I said that sounds like Prince. So that was it's like you have to be creative and your ear has to be eclectic in
Yeah,
order to get that kind of sound. You know what I mean?
yeah,
So
yeah,
I was like, "Ooh, Prince would kill that." Dun, 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 dun. I was like, "I like that." But see, that's like a formula, right? So so you guys think if you're going to use it, think out of the box, especially if you're going to do Karyn White,
right.
because to me, I love the greats. I'm a big Prince fan. He's very eclectic. So y'all got to be deep for me. You got to put some eclecticness on it.
Feel you, I can feel you. So, in your opinion, what separates a good record from a record that lasts the test of times?
Ooh, what separates it? Well, look, okay, we're going to take an example. I just read that you can ring my bell, is now climbing up the dance charts. The TikTok folks, they done found it, and she is selling units of moving actual vinyl and things like that. So I'm like, wow,
Wow.
it is, and it makes you feel good. I mean, pew, dum, dum, dum,
Yeah.
energy. It's the energy. It's like even before she starts singing. So that track, I mean, or I'm not even gonna say it because it wasn't a track. It was live music. But
Yeah.
that music was moving you. So I think, yeah, so just the timeless music has got to have, great subject matter, great vocal, and just energy.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
energy of a
I,
song, right?
I agree. I believe that the way a song comes on
Woo,
even
come on.
defines how good that song is going to be. But I
Yep.
know you said earlier you've worked with the legends. Of course, we know you've worked with some of the greatest like L.A. Reid, Babyface, Jimmy Jam, Terry Lewis, who are up here in the Twin Cities area where I'm from. What did those environments teach you about
Woo.
making timeless music?
Made me bougie. It made me bougie as F
Okay.
because you can't bring nothing to me that's just not, I get it. So you can't have that kind of talent and not learn from them, right? So it just like I said, the from starting with Babyface and L.A. Reid and Daryl Simmons. I mean, first of all, 100 top 10 records. Come on, Babyface. Like, come on. Like, that is just sick to even to do and to understand that that was such a competitive time.
Yeah.
Bobby Brown, Prince, Michael, Anita, Whitney, Luther, glad. I mean, just it goes on. I mean, that's just R&B. I'm not even talking about because we were crossing over, right?
Yeah.
So definitely they taught me, just like I said, what's just what makes a good song. First of all, I understand it because I sang it. And then with Jam and Lewis, wow, it was just really fun to see how they would have such different diversity with each artist. Whereas Babyface in LA had a sound, and pretty much their sound was their sound. If
Right.
they did Bobby, if they did Pebbles, if they did Karyn White, but Jam and Lewis's sound was different when they did Alexander O'Neill, and then when they did, New Edition, or yeah, they just had Janet. It was just diversity, and even with them doing me, so I love that I learned that it wasn't so much a cookie cutter formula. But if I could do it again, and like I said, they both are incredible, and I just learned so much from all of them. And then having Terry Lewis be my ex-husband, he's a prolific. A lot of the lyrics and things come from Terry, so I really learned how to develop my songwriting. Because we wrote a lot of songs together. And I'm going to say one of my favorite songs from the project that we did together is a song that it's kind of was slept on. It was Anita Baker's producer, Michael Powell. It was
Okay.
called Tears of Joy. He did the music,
Okay.
and Terry and I did the melody and the lyric. And
Okay.
so it's a bad song. And so that is just, I'm like, wow, you got, that combination was really dope. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it was a honor working with him as well, because what he's done with Anita Baker was phenomenal.
Yeah, I can
Hmm.
agree. So when you was in those sessions, right? Was there
Uh-huh.
was there a standard or a discipline that you feel artists today don't always have?
Well, because like they didn't play, and they were so expensive. Even though I was wifey, I still had to pay. It was expensive. Warner Brothers was cutting them checks.
Right.
So when the discipline was there, people already knew, when they came, stepped into flight time, you was not playing. Are you talking about with Jam and Lewis, or both? Both.
Both. Yeah.
Oh, both. Oh,
The
well, okay,
whole
yeah.
your
And the
whole
discipline,
entity.
right? And the discipline starting out with LA and Face, and it was really dope because LA would be like, "Hey, you don't really, you haven't. I don't really feel like I don't believe you." I remember Superwoman took a long time. It was like three different takes because really, I'm 21 singing this song. It was about to, coming out. I was 22 when it came out, but I was 21. And I'm like, I really can't say that I understood that life. What did I know about persevering in a relationship and having all these multiple hats as a woman, a wife, a
Right.
girl? I was so focused on my career, but I had to really, this is where my acting, it's like you got to understand how to substitute, just like we do in church when we in there saying, whatever that feeling, that emotion is. And that, so I saw my mother as this morning, early in the morning, I put breakfast at your table. And I also thought, Gladys Knight, neither one of us. I loved how she told a story. And also that one song, one less beg to bell to answer. She was talking about eggs to fry, and because I was like, okay, they're telling a story. So
Hmm.
this story develops as it goes, and then it crescendos, and then it gets big, but it starts out very sweet. So I understood how to tell a story vocally, and I really learned a lot from LA and Babyface, and from LA telling me, I don't believe you. We shutting this session down. Go home, girl. You go. You need to really focus on these words and really what you're saying.
Okay. So being at that point that you work with them guys up until now of where
Hmm.
you at, what do you feel like those producers bought out of you as an artist?
Wow. Okay. Well, with they brought out two different things. With LA and Babyface, it was my first project coming from Jeff Lorber. They helped me define the Karyn White sound, which was really developed on my first album because I didn't know who I was totally. So
Right.
they helped develop that style, that sound. And I heard them on what's his name? What's his name? The guy Questlove's podcast. And L.A. Reid is talking about Karyn White is really funky. Like she likes James Brown, and she likes Sly Stone and Prince and Michael. And ooh, baby, 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 don't you mess with me. Get back, get back. These are the kind of songs I had on my album. I was a band girl coming from, you know, being on the road with Cameo for opening up for O'Brien and watching Cameo every night on the stage for 3 months, seeing how big they were on stage, and Charlie Singleton on guitar, and all the things, right? So I really had a masculine and a femininity to me.
Mm.
So they understood that I wanted to be funky, and that was important for me, not to just be the cute little girl singing. It's like, no, she can get down funky too. So
Yeah.
so they really explored with all of those colors, And then with Jimmy and Terry, it was fun because, like I said, we both, they know how much I love Prince. And on that second album, we were tapping into Ritual of Love, which was, like I said, it was a little bit more eclectic. And just Terry liked my sweeter side. So everything was a little bit softer and sweet, where with with Jimmy and with LA and Face, they like my grittiness.
Okay.
So it was, that's where it was like, okay, y'all like the gritty, y'all like the sweet. And so then on the third album, I was like, I'm doing both. I'm doing me. I'm
Okay.
breaking out of this box.
Right, right. It's usually what most artists by that point, they
Oh
want to
yeah,
take
you know who
more
you
of
are.
the range.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
So
I
I
love
know,
both.
right. Yeah. And I know you have made history as the first female ever to have three number ones date from her debut album. When you look back at that, right? What does that achievement mean to you now?
Honestly, I'm trying to tell you, I really, it was just represents just, oh my God. I mean, first of all, I can't believe it. I'm like, y'all sure? But I am in the Guinness World Book of Records. So I could have sworn there've been a lot of artists that had three number ones. We was just doing the work. And when you're competing in a high, it just represented a great chemistry that we had and shared. And that those years were amazing. I opened for Bobby Brown on the biggest tour of the year, and it was amazing. Bobby Brown was no joke in his heyday. That
Okay.
show, and then I felt like people felt like I was kind of like the female Bobby. So it represents an era, the whole beginning of the whole New Jack Swing movement and sound and style, and I'm proud to be a part of that amazing era of music in the '90s and late '80s.
Yeah, yeah. So I know that you are a big performer, and that's been a big part of your career. What does the stage give you that the studio doesn't?
Woo! You know, I love turning up, and I like to show out. I've always been a show off as a little kid. I'm the baby. So you can imagine everybody's over for the holidays, and your girl is like, between the commercial, I want to do this Tina Turner song, or Diana Ross, and and perform. And my sister sang. I have an older sister that sang. I have a younger, no, my second to oldest sister was a dancer. So I mean, it's like learning this choreography. So I had to do it. I love to do it, and I love showing off. I love how it felt to get that applause. So when I get on stage, I cuts up. And I just transform. It's my happy place. I connect with the people. And yeah, I remember when Terry, he had no clue, right? He saw my videos and everything, but to see me perform live we went to Japan, and it was like 1989. I had a show there, and I invited him to Japan, and he was like, "Oh my God!" He was like, "This is what you do." Like, so it's a whole nother world because, like I said, people don't realize the cameo side of me comes out. So it's a masculine, but yet I can be very feminine at the same time. So it's hitting them with both. You understand? So it's like, oh, kind of like what Sheila E was doing. I'm
Yeah,
not going to
yeah.
say I'm the first to do it. I loved Sheila E, but yeah. So I love it. Right? I love to perform, and that's what you're gonna get. You're gonna get all the sides of the dub. That's what they call me, the dub.
Okay.
DUBB.
Okay. So that kind of almost answers my next question, but I'm gonna go ahead and ask it anyway because you
Come
have
on
a different
now.
perspective. So after all these years, what keeps performing exciting for you? Because I've seen Mary perform, and she looks like she's at a point now where she's just like, y'all sing the song. So what
Right.
keeps it exciting for you?
Shoot, man. Gratitude. Grateful and thankful for the whole ride. Like, man, when I left the business for the time that I took away, it just gave me such an appreciation that um just to be able to do it and to be able to have a gift and really the responsibility of it. So first of all, um the music, I'm always changing things. look, that keeps it fresh for me because I don't like it to get dated either. So,
Okay.
there's a girl named Ray right now from London, and they say every time she performs this song, she changes it. I'm not as bad as Ray, but I will get in the moment and say, let's go into some Isley Brother right here from this to that. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
I keep it fun, I keep it exciting, and I think that's a big part of what the audience feel. Because when they feel like you're having fun, they're like, well, shit, I want to get in on that. Like,
Right. Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, I keep it fresh, and I'm just like I said, the excitement. Um, man, I'm just thankful to God. Really, I really am. I'm thankful for all the career. I'm not as big as a Janet or Whitney, but hey, I have a fan base that loves me, and I love them, and I'm grateful for what I have.
And
Gratitude.
I mean, with all due respect, though, I mean, for the average, we don't see a difference between Whitney, Janet, and Karen. You are all amazing in all honest.
Thank
You know
you.
what I'm saying?
Yes. Oh,
So
I hear you. It's just different artists, huh?
yeah. So I've seen you playing around with an acoustic version of You're Gonna Want Me Back. Is that something you made official or you plan on remixing or anything like that?
Oh yeah, it just dropped.
Okay.
Today or
Okay.
yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, so yeah, that I really love it too because it really, that's a Dionne Warwick. I don't know if people know this, but that's a Dionne Warwick song called You're Gonna Need Me, that chorus is. So
Okay.
I did like, rappers do. I took the chorus, changed it a little bit, and then I wrote the song completely a whole nother, all music and all different lyrics. So when you say you're gonna need me, it just feels like when I sing it at that acoustic space, singing that, it's really like emotional. And I think it's maybe I think for me it's really dope. So you guys got to check out. It's called You're Gonna Want Me Back acoustic lo-fi remix. So
Okay. Okay. I
yeah.
made sure. Now I got a couple more questions before we get you up out of here. Now
Okay.
now I understand that you have a film called Gale and the Storm, and it tells a
Mhm.
story inspired by your real life experiences. What made you want to bring that story to the screen?
Well, a few reasons. First of all, to do a movie, it makes you a whole badass. If you get, who don't want to make a movie, right? So the fact that we did it is an accomplishment to us. It made me feel like, sure, I did a movie, I can do anything and pin it independently. Yes, independently. So got some my partner Derek Muhammad and he's the director. I was the executive producer as well as we both wrote the film. And we kept going. We were taking acting classes in Los Angeles. We would book, but some of these just because you book that doesn't mean that the director is going to get the money to shoot. So we were finding that we were book or he would book and it was like, dang, like we waiting around to do it. And I'm not a person that does that. I take my career and I want to take it into my own hands. And so he said, let's do your life story loosely based on your life. And so we did that. And it's about a legendary singer, but we said like a funk type of singer because the soundtrack, I love the 70s. So if I was going to do a soundtrack, I would definitely want to do music influence from the 70s, the Shaka Khans, Parliament, Al Green, Tina Marie. These are the vibes that are on that record, even Tina Turner.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, so we wanted to do Lucy based on my life, a legendary funk singer who walks away from the business at the height of her career. She hooks up with a revolutionary music producer and he tries to get her back into the game.
Okay.
And so yeah, we used some college students from Morehouse, award-winning college students, and we shot the film in 7 days. And like I said, it's on Tubi. I think it's on Tubi. It was on Tubi. It was on Amazon Prime. And yeah, we had a great time doing it. It's just in this, how sometimes you gotta like, how people say they're gonna do things. It was just one of the bucket list type things.
Okay. Okay.
And it gave me more confidence to do other things.
That's
So
what's up.
sometimes you got to do it afraid, y'all. Let me
Yeah.
tell y'all that because I don't be having all the answers. But of course, we were studied and knew what we wanted to do. But we were smart enough to say, let's use the cameras that are, we didn't have big red cameras, and just like you guys doing your independent shows right now. That's the space I wanted to, as I came back into the entertainment industry, I didn't want to come back in like Karyn White from Warner Brothers. I
Okay.
wanted to come in gritty because I felt like if y'all could do it at what y'all are doing, why do I have to try to spend a ton of money, right? Y'all showing us that it can be done, right? You guys are
Mhm.
building these platforms out here, and I admire you. So I'm a big studier. I'm a big appreciator of YouTube. Also, my girl Issa Rae, she
Okay.
inspired me. I'm like, okay, girl, you can do it. She did it. You can do it. Come on.
All right. So my last question, for everybody that's gonna watch this interview, what do you want people to take from this new chapter of your career in music that you're putting out now?
Wow. I want them to take that your dreams are valid. Keep dreaming, keep shining, keep looking in the mirror and believing in that sparkle, that little girl in you, that little boy in you. Tap into her or him because she wants to take or he wants to take up space, and it's never too late. I'm 25 times 2 plus 10, y'all. You see how I broke it down? But
Yeah.
I'm 30 in my heart. So I just want to keep you guys keep dreaming. Keep dreaming.
That's what's up. So, with that being said, man, I need you guys to make sure that you go tap in and stream her brand new song. You're gonna want me back. It's out on all platforms, and you can catch it on my show each and every Saturday on the weekend cook up with me.
Aw.
You know what I'm saying? I've been playing your song for a minute, and
Woohoo!
it's crazy because I had just discovered I was on my site where I get my music from, and I seen that you had a new single, and I was like, "Is this new?" So I took it and I immediately added into rotation. So y'all
But
make
can I ask
sure.
you a question?
Yes, you can.
Because I need to know this. Where do you discover your music from? That's a big question for somebody like me. Tell
I
me where
get
you
I get my music from several places, but I got your single from a site called BPM Supreme.
BPM Supreme.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Thank
downloaded it
you.
from
Cause
there.
I'm like, I'm on radio, but I'm like, I'm not a full believer that everybody's listening to the radio, and I know they're not. So I know I need to know what other platforms, I need to know what other platforms I need to make sure that I'm on. Do you ever, what is it like New Music Friday? Do you ever listen to, they have
Yep.
like New Music Friday on like Spotify or Apple,
Yeah,
any of that
every
kind of
kind of
thing?
yep. I mean, I always kind of keep my ears to the street on what's new and what's going on. And like I said, I do different searches inside of like Spin City and different sites like that uh
Thank you.
to
Okay.
find out the new music like that.
Okay, well, and then let me give a shout out too because I'm Stokely from Minnesota. We're going to be doing a show together in Detroit, and I'm
Okay.
really excited to see my brother. Did Men Condition? This is a little trivia question. Men Condition in 1991 was my band. So I got to when I had Romantic in the Ritual of Love era,
Mhm.
and we did a few shows together, and they were just the most incredible guys. So I want to just give a shout out to Minnesota because I love you guys. I just did an interview with KMOJ.
Yeah,
I was just so happy. I'm like, oh, my Minnesota family.
yeah,
So
yeah,
thank you.
yeah,
Thank you,
definitely.
Monica.
Yeah,
Monica, my
Monica.
publicist, for setting this
Big
up.
shout
And
out to Monica. She hooked it up. So yeah, much
yeah, she
love.
hooked it up. And I also work with her son Spud. He's been doing mixing my live shows and
Okay.
working with him. So I love Minnesota, Minneapolis. Y'all keep it popping.
All day. Yeah. So
All
on that note,
day.
as I said, man, y'all make sure y'all go stream that. Y'all make sure y'all check out Gale in the Storm on Tubi or wherever you can find it at, because it's out there. Make sure you're watching and support it. And on that note, Mrs. White, I appreciate you for taking time out of your schedule to sit down with Chaotic one-on-one. I'm Chaotic One, and that's Karyn White right there. Till the next time.
Till the next time, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chaotic. That was great.
That
We
was
got a
great.